So Lamar, the last time we spoke to you, you said as far as contract talk, it would end week one. Is that what's going to happen? Or are cutting or pausing contract talks until the end of the season?
As of right now, we're still talking. The week's not over yet, but soon, probably be a deadline, probably be cut off after this week.
Lamar, some high-profile players going into a contract year in the past have taken out an injury insurance policy. Dak Prescott did it a few years ago. Deshaun Jackson did it years ago. Is that something you've done to protect your value on the field, but also, in case something would happen that would hurt that value?
Yeah, I haven't thought about any injuries or anything like that. I just came off one last season, and I'm feeling pretty good this season. I don't even want to put that in the atmosphere. Yeah, so move to the next question on that one.
It's that simple. You will think about it because it's reality.
I should have just stayed with you on that one.
I'm just following.
Nah, I know, I'm just playing. But yeah, I will be doing that. I will follow up on that to both of y'all questions.
What has this whole process been like, of just handling it yourself while you're also preparing and working on the field?
It's business, so it's just been business the whole process. Just taking a day at a time. Whenever we meet, stuff like that.
So Lamar, when you say deadline, after this week, are we talking, kickoff, or are we talking, Friday, Saturday?
Kickoff, I would not be talking about a contract.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking straight Jets around kickoff time.
So as far as a deadline in your
The
mind,
end of this week, Friday.
The decision to not have an official agent during this, was that just a comfort level deal? And sort of how has that affected the talks, having being more hands-on with it yourself?
I'm comfortable, but it's probably different because it's your quarterback, not an agent, an NFL agent, stuff like that. But I've been pretty cool. Eric's been pretty cool with it.
Come on, when people talk about your contract and if something doesn't get done, you're not signed going into the year, people go, how big of a risk is this? Do you feel this is any kind of a risk not having a contract signed before the start?
It was a pretty big risk last season, the year before. I wasn't thinking about contract negotiations around that time. This season's gonna be the same thing. But I'm just playing football. Anything can happen. But God forbid, the wrong thing happen. I'm keeping God first and just playing ball like I've been doing.
Lamar, there are other players around the league that also represent themselves. Have you been in
still
contact?
talking about me representing myself? it ain't nothing else. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead. Finish your question.
No, I just want to know if you talked to other players that represent themselves to kind of get their perspective of how they've handled negotiations?
No, not at all. I'm a different player than any one of the other players who represented themselves. So, no, I haven't.
Do you feel like you guys are close, or does it feel miles apart?
I don't know.
No update?
No, I don't know.
I think he's addressed enough about the contract. Anybody want to talk Jets?
Sounds like Joe Flacco starting for the Jets.
No, he said no.
one more on, just to follow up on that.
On what?
On
Jets?
On Morgan's question. Do you feel, just one more, do you feel, or how much closer do you feel now as opposed to when you started this process, maybe at the beginning of training camp or the last few weeks? How much closer do you feel now toward a potential agreement?
I have no clue. You have to ask the guy who I'm talking to. I'll talk to the gym about that.
Lamar, you are going against Joe Flacco this week. Just your thoughts on going against him and what he meant to you as a rookie and kind of bringing you in this league and mentoring you.
Actually, Ryan, I'm not going against Joe. The defense is. I'm going against the Jets defense. But, he meant a lot. Playing with a Super Bowl quarterback, seeing what he did on the field, stuff like that, how he took apart the game, took apart practice and stuff like that. Seeing him sling the ball from one side of the field to the next side of the field, from the 20, our 20, to the opposite opponent's 20. It was ridiculous, and it'd be a great center.
Lamar, last season didn't end the way that you wanted it to. You've been very clear all along. Your goals are the biggest goals possible. Are you starting to feel impatient to get to those goals, to get to that last game of the season?
I've always been impatient ever since draft night. But, you got to take it a game at a time, a practice at a time, a week at a time. We can't peak too soon. That's what Coach preaches each and every day, each and every meeting. So we're just going to keep it that way, take it a day at a time until we achieve that goal.
Lamar, other than yourself, you had to pick a player you think will have a big season this year. Who would it be and why?
the Ravens offense, the Ravens defense, the Ravens special teams, just because we're hungry and just like my guy said, the season didn't end well for us last season. So, yeah, all of us.
Quarterback transitions going from a guy who's been here for a while, won a Super Bowl, to a first-round pick can be awkward in spots, but it never seemed like there was much awkwardness between your situation. Obviously, Joe got hurt in the end. How did you get along right off the bat? How would you say your relationship sort of developed throughout the course of the year, and you avoided any of that potential, awkwardness in the situation?
I mean, it was he was still the starter, when I got here. It was nothing awkward going on in the locker room. If I asked the question in the meeting room or something like that, he'll give me an answer. It was no pettiness going on with Joe. He was being professional, a real professional quarterback. So it was all good.
Lamar, just at a big picture level, how would you describe the eagerness that you and this team have to get things started?
We're very eager. We're tired of going against each other, practicing against each other, waking up early to see each other all day, not seeing another opponent. We're very eager right now. But we're going to take it. We can't peak too soon. We've got to take it a day at a time, though.
Obviously, expectations are always high, for you and this team. How do you kind of handle that going into a new season?
How I've been doing it each and every season, not worried about the outside noise, just playing my game, and we just doing our thing, not worried about no one else, just focus on the Ravens.
Lamar, this is the first time you've gone into a season without having taken any preseason snaps. How does that impact the way you prepare?
It won't impact me at all, I don't think so. I just haven't got tackled. That's about it, but I'm going to still do what Lamar do, as always.
Lamar, I know you're always optimistic about how things are going to turn out as far as the new guys on the field. But are you intrigued to see how these new parts come together when you're playing another team? For the first time.
To be honest with you, no. I just want to go out there, let our guys go out there, show what they've been. What got them here. Just do our thing. I'm not really looking for to see how he play or see what he do out there. I just want to score points and win the games.
How's the chemistry been with Tyler Linderbaum?
It's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. He's looking pretty good. To be honest, he's a fast center. I told you guys this before. He's a fast center, and he's smart, very smart, man. He catches on very fast, and I'm looking forward to it this season.
Lamar, it looks like Ronnie's getting closer and closer to being back. How does that make you feel, knowing that your staple left tackle is close to being back on the field?
It made me feel great, not having him a whole season. A whole season and part of the year, 2020 when he went down, part of that year. So it'd be great having him back. But we got Juwan right now and he's looking pretty good. But like I said, looking forward to seeing running back out there.
Talking about guys who are eager to play, what have you seen from J.K. and how good is he looking to you out there on the field?
Day by day he's getting better. I told him I want him to slow down, but he's looking pretty good. So hopefully he'll be out in a couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to that guy, and he's very eager to play. I guess he been hearing a little outside noise. He ready to go. And I'm ready for him to go too.
All right, good.
Good. Appreciate y'all.